Appeared on Broadway very briefly in Anna Karenina, the musical, toured America as a teenage mutant ninja turtle, and delivered strange lines on every soap that began with a vowel. 4 of them. Can you name them? They're working on it. Billy is a proud member of IATI Local 764 Wardrobe and is currently dressing his 32nd Broadway show. He is, however, willing to venture back on stage if you promise not to pay him. His favorite review said, "Also awful is Billy Hipkins." It's quoted in his solo show, one of 3 solo shows to date. The Also ran, and here's a small story from that show.
Well, hey, Manhattan Plaza, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So I know a lot of us here are performers or started out as performers, so I thought I would tell you a little story about how it started for me. I made my stage debut in our 2nd grade play at B.N. Forest Elementary School in Verona, New Jersey. The play we are mounting is Peter Rabbit, and I am a natural for the lead. I know how to hop, and I could already hold my flimsy wrists in bunny position. So imagine my surprise when Danny De Parma is cast as the titular rabbit, and I am assigned the role of Radish. Not even the Radish, but one of a trio of radishes. It is here that I get my very first taste of just how unfair show business is. And Danny De Parma, well, he's a 7-year-old hooligan, a teacher's nightmare who has been rewarded by our teacher with the starring role. I am speechless. Literally. I have no lines. Now, what happens if Danny goes wild, as he is known to do on stage? What then? All of our reputations are blackened for the entire B.N. Forest student body. Has this ignorant teacher ready to accept the consequences of her choice? The poor misguided woman hasn't even had the good sense to offer me the role of understudy, a position that I would have considered, but only for the good of the production. But no offer. Singing Radish in a rooted Greek chorus. This is a travesty. But it's done. Casting's been announced and parents have been notified. And between you and me, since Danny's daddy is from all appearances connected to the mob, I sincerely doubt that a replacement call will be held. As rehearsals limp on, Danny will not take direction and is sketchy on his lines. I decide not to invite anybody. Really, don't waste your time. It doesn't showcase my work. The dress rehearsal finally arrives, and in trots Danny in a perfect Peter Rabbit jacket, an ideal peacock blue felt. His mom made it for him. Oh, did she? Or did it fall off of a truck of rabbit costumes? Everyone, teacher DeMille included, gathers around him, marveling at this magnificent jacket, made all the more ideal once Danny is crowned with 20 brown bunny ears and a downright sexy cottontail. I choose not to join them. I don't want to damage my own costume in the crush. I am wearing a red shirt. Not radish red, red. Not the same red as my fellow radishes. No one has even thought to coordinate matching tops for us. We're, after all, just set dressing. Salad dressing. The object that identifies us as a trio is the radish itself. It is a cutout blob of poster paper which has been painted, not surprisingly, a red that matches none of our tops or has anything to do with radish red. Leftover Valentine red. No wonder I'm not fawning over Peter Rabbit over there. This thing will tear if you even look at it. And Mary Beth Tershon has torn hers already. Now she has a shiny stripe of tape across the top of her radish. Thanks, Mary Beth. Thanks for helping us maintain a look here. And speaking of the look, none of the other rabbit costumes are nearly as brilliantly realized as Danny's. But why am I surprised? The balance on this project has been way off since day one. As the rest of the class rustles their paper vegetation, I take my place on stage, a folding chair behind an anemic cardboard fence, and prepare for my long overdue stage debut. Come on, people, let's get this turkey in the oven. The curtain finally creaks open, and we're up, and I like it out here. Oh, I like it out here. I don't like it out here as much as we begin to sing, mumble our simple choruses. After weeks of vocal rehearsal, Jeff Wilson still has no idea where the cutoffs are. On 4, the D on 4, and look around for food. Finally, our scene arrives. Peter has found his way to the vegetable garden, which has been in plain view of the audience since the curtain opened. Did anyone think he wasn't gonna find it? Danny timidly climbs over the fence, cautiously looks around, and then begins to sniff at us. We have not been directed to react. We sit there like vegetables. Danny hops over to me, picks up my arm, and bites me. The little terror actually bites me. Now, this was never even mentioned in the rehearsal process, but suddenly our little star has gone all method on us, and he's bitten me. And got the laugh doing it too. I am outraged. I strongly consider playing the moment, falling off of this chair, rolling into the wings, and finding a bus to New York City. I gotta get out of this Garden State. But instead, I sit there as directed and let Danny shine. I am a professional. When it's all over, I take my bow with the rest of the vegetable garden. The only solo bow goes to guess who I am sure has a rabbit-shaped cake awaiting him in a reserved room of a local Italian restaurant. Though it pains me to say it, he did a nice job with the role, biting aside. Not the choices I would have made, probably a bit stiff in his physicality, but a solid performance. Who knew? All right, it is not what I had hoped for my stage debut, but it's sure been a day of American history studies. Maybe next year we'll mount Pinocchio, and nobody can play wooden like I can. No, this is far from over.